So it looked like Caitlin Clark is adding another job to her resume. This time it's been a children's author. Now we know the WNBA star has many lists of talents and different jobs that she has been doing over the years. But this one, to me, and this is my own personal opinion, this one takes the cake more than anything she's done. This is why, because Caitlin Clark now is going to be writing children's books.
Caitlin Clark just added a new role to her growing list, and this one might matter more than any stat line. She's releasing a children's book later this year, inspired by her own journey. Titled The Extraordinary, a little extra to reach big dreams, it's set to launch on November 3rd through Random House. The story focuses on hard work, support systems, and pushing beyond limits. And already, Angel Reese fans are reacting loudly. When you're a WNBA superstar who shattered 62 records, featured in all 44 nationally televised games, packing out arenas everywhere, and landing the biggest endorsement deals in the sport, then you announce a children's book aimed at motivating kids to follow their dreams. It hits different. The question is, does that make the critics even more frustrated now that her impact is stretching far beyond the court and into inspiring the next generation?
WNBA star Caitlin Clark to publish a children's book on her life. Damn, that's major key alert, hotter than fish grease.
Let's be clear, this is massive, truly massive, not just for Caitlin Clark as an individual, but for what it actually represents. Because releasing a children's book isn't just about profit or adding another stream of income. It's about building something that lasts. It's about impact. It's about connecting with kids at the exact stage where they're shaping their ambitions and figuring out what they believe they can become. And now, Caitlin Clark's story is going to be right there with them, on their shelves, in their homes, part of their bedtime routines. That's a completely different kind of influence than anything she's done before. The news came through Random House Books for Young Readers, which is a major name in publishing. This isn't some quick self-published project or side hustle. This is a respected publisher recognizing the power of her story and putting real backing behind it. The book is titled The Extraordinary, a little extra to reach big dreams. And it's scheduled to release on November 3rd. Perfect timing, because the WNBA season will be in full swing, and she'll already be dominating headlines with her performance on the court. So, while she's making noise during games, this book will be landing in stores at the same time, expanding her reach far beyond basketball and into something even more lasting.
We'll have a picture book out this fall based on her own life. One she knows is like few others. Random House Books for Young Readers announced Tuesday the Extraordinary, a little extra to reach big dreams, will be published November the 3rd. In rhyming verse, the WNBA star shares a message about the importance of the effort and support. Caitlin Clark, whose book features illustrations by Adriana Pedro, was inspired by inscriptions above the mirror that hung in her childhood bedroom. The difference between extraordinary.
The book is written in rhyming verse, which is a very intentional and smart choice because kids naturally respond to rhythm and repetition. It makes the story easier to read aloud, more fun to listen to, and much more memorable over time. Instead of simply telling her story in a straightforward way, Caitlin Clark is shaping it into something that genuinely fits the structure of a children's book, and that's not as easy as it sounds. It requires breaking down complex life lessons into simple, clear ideas, making them relatable for young minds, and keeping their attention from beginning to end, which is why rhyming verse works so well in this format. The illustrations, created by Adriana Pedro, already look impressive based on early previews, with a cover that shows Caitlin in action while a diverse group of kids look up to her. And that detail is completely intentional because it sends a powerful message that this book is meant for everyone. It highlights that inspiration doesn't belong to one group, that dreams are universal, and that representation truly matters, especially for young readers who are still shaping how they see themselves and their future. By including kids from different backgrounds, the book reinforces that Caitlin's journey and message are designed to connect with all children, not just those who look like her. At its core, the meaning behind the book comes from a quote that hung above Caitlin's mirror when she was growing up. That little extra. That's the real difference between average and great. Between people who only talk about their dreams and those who actually chase them. Between just showing up and truly standing out. And Caitlin Clark has lived that mindset her entire life. She didn't just put in the work, she pushed beyond it. She didn't just attend practice. She stayed longer, did more, and demanded more from herself. She wasn't satisfied with being good. She aimed to be the best. That extra effort is what shaped her into who she is today, and it's a powerful lesson for kids because many of them grow up thinking greatness is something you're simply born with. They look at legends like Michael Jordan or LeBron James and assume it all came naturally, without realizing the countless hours, sacrifices, and relentless effort behind the scenes. What this message does is break that illusion. It shows that greatness isn't magic. It's built step by step through consistency and that willingness to go a little further every single day. And that's exactly what her book aims to teach, making it clear that becoming extraordinary is really about effort plus that small but crucial extra push. But there's another layer to it as well, something just as important. In her own words, Caitlin emphasized that while basketball opened many doors for her, what truly mattered most were the people who supported her along the way. That highlights a deeper message, not just about individual effort, but about the role of support systems. It's about community, about the coaches who stayed late to help, the parents who made sacrifices to get her to practice, the teammates who challenged her to improve, and the fans who stood behind her. It's a reminder that no one reaches greatness completely alone, and that behind every success story, there's always a network of people who helped make it possible. Caitlin Clark added, "I hope this book reminds kids that they are never alone in chasing their dreams, and that giving a little extra to people in moments is what makes them extraordinary." And that message really goes deeper than motivation because it speaks directly to how kids often feel when they are chasing big dreams, lonely, overwhelmed, and unsure if anyone truly understands their journey. But what she is saying is that they are not alone. There are people who care, there are people who support them. And when they also give that same energy back through effort, kindness, and appreciation, that is where something special starts to happen. And this book is also releasing at a very important point in her career as she returns after missing significant time due to injury and playing only 13 games last season, which was a tough setback, but she worked through it, recovered, and came back stronger with the goal of an MVP-level season. So when this book comes out in November, it will align perfectly with her proving the same lesson she is writing about, that setbacks do not define you, but your response to them does, and it often takes that little extra to turn adversity into growth. And the timing is also huge because Indiana Fever will have all 44 of their games on national television, and Caitlin has already become the face of women's basketball, bringing in massive attention from casual fans who never watched the league before, filling arenas, inspiring young girls, and becoming a household name. So this book is not just a side project, it is another extension of her influence moving beyond basketball into homes, classrooms, and families where her story can inspire kids in a completely new way. Caitlin Clark's children's book announcement has already sparked a lot of online debate, and a big part of that comes from rival fan bases reacting strongly to everything she does. Some critics, especially among certain Angel Reese supporters, are calling it unnecessary or saying she should be focusing only on basketball, while others are framing it as a publicity move or even a cash grab. There's also this narrative floating around that someone else should have done it first, which honestly doesn't really hold up because nothing was stopping any player from stepping into publishing if they wanted to. In reality, Caitlin acted on an opportunity, got a major publishing deal, and followed through on it, which is exactly how most athletes expand their careers beyond their sport. The criticism about losing focus doesn't really land either, because the book is already completed, illustrated, and in production, meaning it's not something pulling her away from training or in-season preparation. It's a finished project that only requires limited promotional work when it releases. And historically, this kind of crossover into business and media is completely normal for elite athletes, with names like LeBron James building entertainment companies, Stephen Curry developing media ventures, and Serena Williams launching fashion and business brands. showing that expanding beyond sport is part of the modern athlete career path rather than a distraction. And in that context, Caitlin's book fits right into a broader pattern of athletes using their platform to build influence. Beyond the game itself, Caitlin Clark is clearly being judged by a different standard in these online debates, especially when you compare it to how other elite athletes are treated. Many players across sports expand into business, media, and creative projects without the same level of criticism, so the frustration from fans really comes down to perception rather than anything unique about what she's doing. The cash grab label also misses the bigger picture, because yes, like any published author, she will earn from the book, but that's how publishing works. It doesn't automatically cancel out the message behind it. The book is still built around her personal philosophy, the idea of effort, growth, and support, and it's aimed at inspiring kids rather than just existing as a commercial product. Even if it generates income, that doesn't erase its intent or impact, especially when it's tied to a consistent message she has lived throughout her career. And a big part of why the conversation gets so intense is because Caitlin keeps succeeding on multiple levels: on the court, in visibility, and now in expanding her brand, which naturally amplifies reactions from both supporters and critics. Caitlin Clark's growing list of achievements shows she's not just a short-term sensation, but someone steadily building something much bigger that could last for years beyond her playing career, especially as she continues breaking records, drawing unprecedented attention to the WNBA, and now stepping into publishing with a children's book, which naturally leads people to wonder what else could come next, like a foundation, mentorship programs, or even documentaries, all of which are realistic paths for athletes at her level. And regardless of what critics say, each new step tends to trigger the same cycle of discussion and backlash, which often says more about the reaction than the achievement itself. At the core of her message is the idea of going a little extra, a principle that extends far beyond basketball and applies to everyday life, whether it's putting more effort into schoolwork, showing more care in relationships, or improving consistency in personal goals, because that small additional effort is often what separates average outcomes from exceptional ones. And it's a concept that has real-world impact when applied consistently, turning simple habits into long-term success, much like real examples in business and entrepreneurship where small, consistent improvements in effort and service can grow into major opportunities over time.